Hey, it's Willy Tyler with a special guest on the phone. He's playing the Red Ox Event Salon this Friday night at 6 o'clock. Country Soul Man, Mr. Drake White.
What's happening, Brother Willie?
How you doing, Drake? It's great to hear from you, man. I'm a big fan. I've been following you for years. Wednesday night therapy pretty much saved me in the pandemic. I think that was the best thing to come out of the pandemic.
Man, that's good to hear. That's awesome.
I don't know how many weeks you did.
Man, we did probably about, probably around 80.
That's what I was thinking. I watched every single damn one of them, so.
That's awesome, man. Thank you.
No, thank you, and thank you for coming to Billings. We are the first show on the Optimistic Tour. We're happy to be your first show. Feel good to be back out on the road?
Man, that's an understatement. I mean, to go through what we've been through and fought through, as a society, with a pandemic, but with us personally, with the hemorrhagic stroke that I had the year before, it's just awesome, man. The shows feel, the couple of shows, we've done probably a dozen shows in the last, month and a half, and they just feel, they feel really, really good. That they're just a different thing to them, which is cool.
Absolutely, yeah. It feels like a new thing almost being at these shows, like we hadn't done it before.
Yeah, it just feels like people are really, really hungry, and there's like an emotion attached to them. And all of our shows, our shows that are, they're passionate and stuff like that. We've always been passionate about every show that we play, but there's an emotion attached to it now that it's palpable in the room. You can feel it, from the fans. They're glad to be there, and we are extremely excited that people are choosing to buy tickets to come to our shows, and it's just fun, man.
Yeah, it's going to be a blast.
A lot of fun.
You're bringing some special guests along with?
Miss Casey Tyndall.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's if you've never, Nashville is one of those places where there's circles that form, and I found out about Casey through an artist named Lainey Wilson, who's rocking it right now out there, and just fell in love with her attitude and just her country kind of kick down the door type attitude, and she's from North Carolina, and she's a pistol, man. She's a lot of fun, so people need to get out there early and check her out.
Yeah, and you had Casey and Josh and Ben on that last Wednesday night therapy too, so we got a little taste. Yeah, I asked them into the barn. For the people out there listening that don't know, I've always loved barns and loved building and that kind of stuff. So we built a barn on our property and called it Wildwood Hollow, and just wanted to invite them and get them and take them on a Bronco ride and just kind of tell them thank you for being there. So we cooked some food and we jammed for the folks, and it was a good intro, to what the Optimistic Tour is going to be, and kind of the whole feel of the thing. And it's, I believe that these openers aren't somebody that somebody pushed on me, This is something that I researched, and I really enjoy these guys' music and what they bring to the table, which is ultimately, conviction and power. It's cool. Nice. And we watched on your social media this morning, you guys loading up in that Bronco and leaving Nashville, driving all the way up here to Montana, and you said you were going to get here early because you love Montana. Have you ever played Montana before, or you've just visited?
Yeah, I've played Missoula, that area before. It's one of my favorite states. It's obviously the beauty, but I'm an outdoorsman and love wildlife and conservation, and just the whole texture, if you will, of Montana for me is something to be that y'all should be proud of. It's just a really, really beautiful, tough, rugged place, and I always tell people, if you live in Montana, you got to want to be there. The winters are brutal, and the
summers are brutal crazy too after this last one. So
yeah, it's just Mother Nature runs the show.
That's it,
and it's a cool place, and I love the wildness of it, and I've just always felt alive when I'm there. So can't wait to come. So I'm actually in a RV right now, a Cruise America with my wife and mom and dad, and we're cruising out there right now to get a couple of days, kind of in the Yellowstone area, and then back to Billings to start this tour.
Yeah. And you're from Alabama originally, close to Muscle Shoals, and we certainly hear a lot of that influence in your music. Nobody else in country music has your sound, and it's more like a feel than a sound.
Yeah, that's cool, man. Yeah, all the Ray Charles and Percy Sledge and all those soul guys, even like Bob Seger and your Allman Brothers bands and all that stuff, and your country guys like Eddie Rabbitt and guys like that. There's really a feel to it. You can feel the geographical location of which that is that Alabama kind of soul feel. And I don't even really know I'm doing it. It's just part of what I am when I walk on stage naturally, and I think that's what comes across. And I hope that's what comes across. The guys, we just play and I write music, and I love road trips and being out and meeting people and seeing people, and I just love being able to do it, and I'm humbled to do it, So, and that's what comes across in the music, I hope.
Oh, absolutely. You have the Drake White feel. You're kind of the tie between Muscle Shoals and Nashville, and maybe a little Motown.
Yeah, I like that. I mean, I've always said I've tried to bridge the gap between Nashville and Muscle Shoals, and it's a cool thing, cosmic country, if you will.
There you go. 3-month tour, and I saw one of those dates is actually your hometown. That's going to be kind of cool.
It's going to be really cool. The mayor is a friend of mine, and he had been asking about it, and watching me come through this, my health issues that I had in 2019 and 20, there were so many people from my hometown, which is only 4,500 people. There's so many people that joined in and prayed, and so many people that wrote letters. So I just wanted to go back and play like a city festival, and just do it for free, And so that's going to be one of the stops. I don't think I could have an optimistic tour without going through the town that built me, and that's Hokes Bluff, Alabama.
Right on. And I don't want to talk about it much, but I do want to touch on your medical issue for people that don't know. Can you talk about the AVM? Yeah.
Well, first of all, I love talking about it because it's something that I think everybody, now that I've been through it, I've learned that everybody's got a struggle. Whether we could dig into you, Willie, and I'm sure you've got something that you've struggled with, or somebody, a family member or something. So it was a wad of veins and arteries about the size of a lime in the back right side of my brain, and that is the mobile cortex to what operates your left side. And I played about 40, 50 shows and was getting that thing embolized, which is basically gluing it shut to my femoral artery. And we were about on surgery 4 or 5, and I was in Roanoke, Virginia, 8 months into the touring season, about to go out with Zach Brown, about to go to Australia, and I just had other plans, and that AVM decided to rupture, which was there was only a 4% chance of it rupturing, and when it ruptured, my brain started bleeding, and basically putting me through a near-death experience, and I had to relearn how to walk and relearn how to move my left hand, and just basically all the movements that I was so accustomed to on stage, I had to relearn. And not quite back to playing the guitar again, but it's coming slowly. But that's part of the show. That's part of this record that we're building in The Optimistic, is that spelling of The Optimistic is Optimystic. And I decided to spell it that way because of the mystery of this whole thing. And it takes faith, to get through that tomorrow is going to be better than today. And, through all this stuff that we're facing with the flags at half-mast and the troops and everything, and stuff's heavy, man. It's super heavy. And I have to just battle it with a positivity that I've learned, to have through this injury and through this stuff. And so that's where I'm at on it all, and that's what you're going to get. You're going to get a heavy dose of optimism when you, not bullshit optimism, but optimism that's been tried and tested,
Absolutely.
And that's what you're going to get when you come to the show on Friday.
there wasn't really a good time for a pandemic, but it almost kind of worked out for you because you would have been recovering during that time anyway. So, you know?
Yeah. Honestly, it was the perfect thing, man. I would not wish a global-wide pandemic on anything or anybody, but it was a godsend for me, as it gave me a chance to be at home, to work out, to let those nerves heal, and to ride on these Zoom calls and basically put this record together that I think is going to stand the test of time, and we're going to get it out this year, and we're about to we're releasing it as we tour through this optimistic tour. So it's just special now, you know, how timing is, and we don't know why God works things out the way He does, and we don't have control of that. So we can just keep motoring forward and keep being kind to each other and living by the golden rule, and keep rocking the faces off people as they come to the show, you know?
There you go. A lot of people tried online stuff during the pandemic and kind of lost momentum, but you seem to keep going and got it better and better every night. And we learned a lot of new songs, and I'm hoping that a handful of them are going to be on this new album. Are we going to see Angel Side of You?
Oh yeah. We've already released it. We released it June the 25th, so all you guys can stream that on Spotify and everywhere that you, and iTunes Music, everywhere that you get music right now. So definitely all those songs, like I said, we would write them, and then we would jump in the barn and we would jam them on Wednesday nights. And what a better barometer to build a record off of than being able to do that over the course of a year, because I basically took the ones that people requested over and over and over, and I put on a record. And this is a full-length record. We've released 2 songs off of it. We're about to release 2 more, but our intention is to release a full 14, 15-song record.
I'm excited about that because you've got quite a few EPs out, but I'm always wanting more out of you. Pawn Shop Rings, one of my new favorite songs too.
Oh yeah, it's gonna. You'll just have to stay tuned, but I believe that one's gonna make it because a lot of people requested that over it, and it's such a true song to the way I grew up.
Awesome. All right, man. The Optimistic Tour, making it stop this Friday night, the Red Ox Events Lawn. Drake White, so good to hear from you, man. I'm looking forward to the show. I'll be right in the front.
All right, dude. I appreciate it.
All right, buddy. Thanks a lot.
See y'all there.